Be ready for BYU Game Day. Download the KSL News Radio app to stream BYU games, plus breaking news during the week. That's the app for KSL News Radio.
Welcome back in, Cougar Nation. Taking your calls up until 7 p.m., 801-575-8255. Let's get back out to the phone line before we get into what's trending. Jeremy, from where I live, my beloved Vineyard, Utah. I love that place. Jeremy?
It's a great place.
Oh, it's fantastic down there, man. It's a nice little hidden gem in Utah County. Love it.
Absolutely.
What does Jake got to do this week against Wyoming to make you feel good about him going forward?
Well, can we really learn anything from a lesser competition? We might not. You know, Wyoming is suspect at best, and so he might have a really good showing this week. But are we going to learn anything? Because, you know, we're not really up-leveling the competition. I think the big test will be Kansas State in a couple of weeks. My challenge right now is he going to be like he was last week where he put together a great drive, but then it really kind of flipped when he had that fumble. Everything after that fumble, it seemed like he was rattled. So where's his head at? Where's his head going to be at? Can the coaching staff talk to him about, you know, staying composed in a situation? Because it really seemed like everything was clicking up until that first fumble on that blown, you know, pass, running back, you know, just missed from that point on. It seemed like he was rattled from that point forward. And so, yeah, we may not learn anything except he's really good against lesser competition. I think the real test will be Kansas State, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Thanks for the call, Jeremy. I think that, you know, Jake has got to be, you know, live to play another down. Take the sack if you need to. You know, even Kalani said today that they've had drives where they recover from sacks. It happens. You know, you don't want to take a sack late in a game if the game's on the line and you need to make a play. But in those moments where he did, you know, he's trying to make a play, take the sack, live to see another down, live to kick too. Like, end every drive with a punt, a field goal attempt, a PAT, end every drive with a kick. And if you do that, you're going to be okay. I mean, I just think BYU will be a team that can be in position to win a lot of ball games and pull some upsets this year if they just take care of the football. I almost took for granted the ball security ability of Zach Wilson, his final year in 2020, and Jaron Hall, his 2 years as the starter. You kind of take that for granted because, man, and even Keaton Slovis was pretty good too. BYU had a string of great quarterback play of just taking care of the ball. This has kind of been like a shaking the core of Cougar fans. They haven't been used to this in a while.
I do disagree with my brother from Vineyard on what can be learned against Wyoming. A lot can be learned. We talked about this a lot in 2020. Yeah, the schedule was light, but are you going to dominate these teams and show that you are much better? Yeah. That's how I feel about Wyoming.
And it's on the road.
If
you can win on the road, and I know that BYU's going to be a big favorite, like, you know, 8-10 points, whatever it is. Like, you win on the road, I don't care who it is, and just take care of business and handle your business and take care of the football. Yeah, I think that could definitely be progress from SMU. Absolutely.
If he puts up Southern Illinois numbers with no turnovers, that is you're learning that you can bounce back from adversity and handle business. Now, of course, you do need to see that level of play against a higher quality opponent, but I think we can learn something against Wyoming from Jake Retzlaff.
I agree. And look, the fear of a game like Wyoming this week is that their back is completely against the wall. And look, they're not a good football team, and I think BYU is going to win comfortably in this game. Kind of spoiler there. That's how I feel. I don't see anything drastically changing that. But, you know, if BYU just does that and backs that up and Jake performs well and doesn't cough up the football, that is progress. Because, look, we all understand the situation with this quarterback unit. It's not ideal. It's not one of the better quarterback units in the Big 12. It's just not. I know Jake was motivated by that PFF graphic of him being ranked 16th, and I could disagree that maybe he's not 16th, but the performance he had at SMU, that was the 16th best quarterback in the Big 12. He backed up PFF on last Friday. So he's got a chance to prove him wrong, and Let's see what he does this week. And if he does take care of the football and put up some big numbers through the air, which they are going to need because the ground attack is going to be shorthanded this week.
Let's get back out to the phone line. Marcus in West Jordan. What do you make of Jake Retzlaff, and can he restore some faith in your eyes as quarterback number 1 this week against Wyoming?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I think it's a situational football where he seems to be kind of reckless with the football and making those, last-second decisions, which all quarterback play is really kind of quick decision-making. But Wyoming, as you pointed out, is an inferior team this week. But since they're going to play at that, nothing-to-lose mentality, I'm expecting them to throw some blitzes, some packages that will put him in some adverse situations. And with a linebacker on his back and not a lot of space in the pocket, I want to see that he's going to throw the ball away or get the ball quickly out to the side to get him out to the running back, or an easier pass play, something quick and easy. And hopefully Aaron Roderick, of course, will design some escape passes or some quick things for him to do. But yeah, just don't want to see him throw those nasty interceptions.
Great call. Thank you, Marcus. A text from 9831. You can text us as well if you don't want to call in, 575-00. Typical BYU on the win. Great defense, bad offense. I don't know if that's typical BYU. I would say maybe it's the other way, would be typical BYU. But terrible in-game adjustment, says this texter. Players not ready to go, sloppy play. I don't agree with a lot of that, except for maybe the in-game adjustments. I felt like maybe once LJ went out, there needed to be a little shift in what you were trying to do. LJ was having some success there, and when he went down, could there have been more of the quick passing game, which we didn't see a lot of, but I like that call from Marcus, Mitch, where, yes, Wyoming is bad. We don't need to keep beating a dead horse. They're not a good football team.
We don't need to tell Cougar Nation, like, hey, be afraid of these guys. BYU better play their best football. Like, we understand that, but, like, at the end of the day, BYU should take care of business and roll. They should.
But I like those situations. On a third down, make the right read. On a blitz, pick it up and get the ball out hot. That would be improvement for Jake Retzlaff. Another text, 9489. No turnovers from Jake. 250 passing yards, 2 TDs. Even then, against Wyoming, it's not going to change much public opinion. He has 6 games of average to mediocre play, which is fair. But, I do think there is an opportunity here against Wyoming to show improvement for Jake.
I like this text, too, 4888, and I agree with this. The offense has to have more explosive plays and take a deep shot every quarter. That is Jake's bread and butter. Like, cater to that and go take some deep shots. The guy wants to.
Yep.
He's got to be smart about it. And to Marcus's point, if it's not there, throw it away. But take the deep shots. That's where he had success, and he acknowledged in week 1 he was having fun with those deep shots. He had 8 explosive plays in that win over Southern Illinois. I'd like to see that too. Texter from 5781, at this point, with half a season worth of game under his belt, it would be foolish for anyone, including coaches, to expect anything different from him. This is who he is. He will turn the ball over. Book it. And you know what? That is the fear.
That is the fear.
That is the fear that he is
just who he is. Can I play devil's advocate, though? He started 6 games, okay? This isn't a guy who started 2 seasons worth of football and has turned it over twice.
But he's played a lot of Big 12 competition and good. The only great game was against an FCS team.
That's fair.
Against Power 4s, he's struggling.
Had one great game in 6, and that is a fair point. I'm just saying, in some respects, we're acting like this is his second year as a starting quarterback. He hasn't even started half of a college football season.
You get JUCO guys because they've got experience after high school. So, and he put up massive numbers. That's what's crazy. There's like this disconnect here where maybe it's just an indictment on JUCO football, because JUCO football is not what it once was, say, when Sark was coming out, in the 90s. But, he was putting up record-setting passing numbers. Passing, Jake was, in the JUCO ranks. And he rewrote the record books at Riverside, CC. And that's where it's like, where's that? Was it just kind of
But is that – I would push back on that a little bit, saying I think some of that is Aaron Roderick. I haven't loved the way Aaron Roderick has called the offense last year or this year. Yeah. So – we've never seen an up-tempo, 2-minute, 4 and 5 wide set straight pass with Jake, and that's probably his strength. So I think Aaron Roderick's got to find a way to use this guy right, too, and I don't know if he has up to this point.
And I feel like a segment of Cougar Nation does feel like it's just who he is, and Aaron Rodgers just going to be who he is. And they're like,
well, if that's the case, then we are going to keep seeing the same stuff.
But that's what I think makes fans a little bit more willing right now, even after just week 2 and a win. Like, let's see what Gary's got. And then, look, there was a case to be made at the beginning of the third quarter after that pick, where it would have been easy to say, Gary, here you go. Here's your chance. And look, if Gary goes in and it's a mess, hey, feel free to go back to Jake.
Right.
And then maybe come November, we're seeing the McKay Hillstead show. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure this out. It's a week-by-week thing, man. But
this is not where you want to be. Can I just make this abundantly clear? We cannot operate for the rest of BYU football as week-to-week quarterback
BYU
play.
needs to get some home runs in the high school recruiting ranks. Helaman Kasaga, 2026 kid at Corner Canyon. Ryder Lyons, who took an unofficial 5-star to that Southern Illinois game. You got to get dudes like that.
Yes.
You got to revive the high school recruiting, because banking on transfers to come save the position is not working. You got to get some homegrown dudes that are signing from the high school ranks, and you keep them, and you maintain them, and you deliver them, and they're high-level 4-star, 5-star prospects. Say what you want about recruiting rankings, but the best teams are killing it on the recruiting trail with the stars. Like, that's just what it is, and you got to get at some of those. And BYU, just the last 3 cycles, has not. They once upon a time, for a brief moment, had Jackson Dart as a commit. Imagine the world right now with Jackson Dart at BYU. I don't want to go down that path, because then I might get a little sad. But that's they got to do a better job of recruiting high school, and I think some of this will be better. But you know what? I'm holding out hope that Jake will get better, because I do believe he has gotten somewhat better from last season. His knowledge of the offense clearly is better than last year. But now it's got to execute, and the decision-making, I think, has got to clearly improve.
Let's take a break. Central Bank, 133 years of trusted banking service, modern technology, and fast lending decisions. Back after this.